it's been a interesting couple hours for the Houston Texans. It really started with the rumors that that the Miami Dolphins are going to be the head suitors in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, and that the Houston Texans are asking for 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks minimum. And I think that's great. That's where the conversation needs to start. You're gonna give me your future for the next 3 years for Deshaun Watson. That's how great of a player he is. Let's not forget he had almost 70% in the offense for the Houston Texans last year. That's how special he could be. Deshaun Watson makes any team, a contender. If he goes to a team like the Miami Dolphins, that's a Super Bowl team. That defense is still good. You have weapons. He's going to go back with Will Fuller. He wants to reunite with Will Fuller, according to Mr. Benjamin Albright. So it looks like, this trade is going, to inevitably happen. And kudos to the Houston Texans. They've stayed firm on this. They didn't get lowballed, and I'm pretty sure teams tried to do. I'm pretty sure teams tried to send Nick Casario, like veteran age players with huge contracts, big names, so you're gonna have to pay again, and a little bit of draft picks. I'm glad we've stayed firm on this. I'm glad we didn't budge. It looks like the Houston Texans might get exactly what they want. Will even Tua might be in the package. It looks like, that might even not be the case either. And if that's the case, if you're not getting in Tua, then you have to get someone else. I don't want it to be Xavier Howard. Look, he is a great corner. He is a damn good one. But he's 28 years old. He might be here for the next 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years. And you're going to be paying him a lot of money. I think that the future is still, you are still in the rebuilding process for the Houston Texans. A lot of this defense is on 1-year deals. I don't really think it makes sense to bring in an Xavier Howard. That's just me. If we do bring in Xavier Howard, I wouldn't mind that. I would absolutely love it. I would say, hey, that's fine. We got our number one corner. I'm fine either way, honestly. I think, I lean a little bit more to we don't need him. A player like Christian Wilkins is someone who I think will be fantastic for the Houston Texans. This could be your defensive tackle alongside of Ross Blacklock for the next 5-6 years. 25 years old, 315 pounds, dominate against the run. It's very hard to block him one-on-one. That's the type of, return that I want to see for the Houston Texans. But, beside this whole trade talk from Deshaun Watson, they did have a game against the defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, even though we barely lost, it wasn't a good showing for this Houston Texans offense. It's, actually, the offensive line, I think, did a good job. Charlie Heck did as well. Speaking of that, Titus Howard, man, oh man, when that dude is pulling, he is an absolute freak, man. It must be scary seeing him come to you to block. I like this offensive line. I want to see what happens when Marcus Cannon gets here. I want to see what happens when Lane Taylor gets here. I think those two might be activated soon. I'm not sure on that, but I do know that they will be trying, to play in Week 1 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What really concerned me was, one, the quarterback play. Tyrod Taylor looked absolutely lost. Tyrod Taylor, I think you took 3-4 steps back. He did not look good at all. Nothing about Tyrod Taylor last night said this could be your starting quarterback for the Houston Texans and he could be successful. He missed, on the first series when he rolled out to his right, he could have hit Nico Collins. On the next series, he missed Jordan Akins, who was wide open, who could have converted. He also could have ran on that, first series, third down, and maybe would have picked up the first. But it just did not look good. He didn't, he couldn't get in sync with any of the receivers. And, he eventually got pulled after 2 drives, and it was up to Davis Mills to come in and show that, hey, don't forget about me. I am a 3rd-round pick, but maybe I could be this Houston Texans starting quarterback. And Davis Mills looked even worse. regardless of the second half where he was just, going against the fourth and fifth stringers. At one point he was 1 for 6 for 1 yard and 2 interceptions. Had 3 interceptions on the day. Did try to bring the Texans, back in the game. He did show some good things. Don't get me wrong. He hit Nicky Collins for that touchdown. Speaking of Nico Collins, dude, he should have had 2 touchdowns on the day. Should have used both hands, on both of the balls that were dropped by him. I'm pretty sure he got an earful from David Culley. But Nico Collins, who we'd heard great things about in training camp, besides his touchdown, hasn't really done anything. But man, when he got the ball and he ran over that corner, 6'4", 215, man, he's an absolute, specimen of a human being. This guy needs to get it going, man, to help this quarterback play. Because right now, who can you really say deserves to be the quarterback? I mean, do you just want to give it to Tyrod Taylor because he is the veteran of the team? If your goal is to trade Deshaun Watson and not get Tua, that means you're trying to tank. So why not just throw Davis Mills out there? Look, you play Jacksonville week 1. Jacksonville is not going to be a good team. They try to be cute. They didn't address the offensive line. Trevor Lawrence looks absolutely, like he's running for his life back there. They don't look good at all. That defense looks bad at all, and it's their fault. They then go to the Carolina Panthers, another game that you could possibly win. Do you want to throw Davis Mills out there and maybe see what you have in this kid? Absolutely. Why? Because I guarantee you Tyrod Taylor is not the starting QB next year. I guarantee it. It's either going to be Davis Mills or it's going to be whatever quarterback we either sign in free agency. Maybe it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding. That would be crazy, right? Or maybe it's some quarterback that you drafted high. That's another conversation for another day. The defense. Man, the defense. There's not really much I could say. They started off looking damn good. Causing the 3-and-out were very good against the run. But it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady absolutely shredded, the defense. Even though there was no Zach Cunningham or Lonnie Johnson, there's nothing you can do about Tom Brady. The dude is an absolute stud. The best quarterback to ever play the game. Tom Brady did Tom Brady things. Mark Ingram looked like he could be a starting running back in the NFL. He looks home. This running game for the Houston Texans is actually very impressive. I'm excited to see what he could do. David Johnson had a little juice in the game knowing that he might be on the bubble. Scotty Phillips tried to put David Johnson away, almost had 100 yards on the game. Scotty Phillips, that burst of speed is there. This Houston Texans team is competitive. They have got better at every single position except for the quarterback. What Nick Caserio and David Culley are going to do in these next couple of days, that's a different topic for another day. But let me know what you guys think about these past couple hours, because it wasn't just a game. We also traded Shaq Lawson, who didn't do shit in this preseason. But guys, let me know what you guys think. As always, go Texans. You have a blessed day.